This is the SHL Network. To be champions, you must work hard. Every shot, every goal, unlocking your potential. Because when the puck drops, it's game time.
And after the next 51 minutes of hockey, there will be just 2 left. Already 1 spot taken by the number 2 New Trier Trevians. The next spot will be decided between these two, the number 5 Glenbrook South Titans and the number 1 St. Viator Lions here at West Meadows Ice Arena in Rolling Meadows, Illinois. Welcome into the broadcast on SHL Network, everybody, for our great crew working behind the scenes. Talents here with you today will be Max Anderson down at ice level, Dylan Ward, Wes Anderson, and myself, Luke Jordan, up here. A pleasure to be with you all, as always. And Wes, let's talk about this series, because of course St. Viator, they're the one big Goliath to beat in the state right now. But people forget Glenbrook South won the season series.
Yeah, you talked the team that outshot the other team in every game won the series, as you mentioned, and I expect that to be the same case tonight. We got 2 great goaltenders on both sides of the ice. South coming off what people are calling an upset win last night against the Dukes. They're looking to repeat that here again tonight against St. Viator.
And it's led by the bench boss in Jim Philbin, a 2022 Illinois High School Hockey Hall of Fame selection, down at ice level with Max Anderson.
Thanks, guys. Jim, you guys come into this one the underdog, just like you did last night. What's your message to your team on embracing that underdog role?
Well, we just got to play our game. We know Viator's a very good team, top-ranked team in the state. We've seen them all year. They're deep. They don't have many flaws there, but in our game, we got to play our system, right? It's a defensive system, get some turnovers, go capitalize on those turnovers, try to slow down their rush, right? And get pucks out of our zone quick. They're dangerous down low, so we got to make sure we're covering.
The boys were just talking about how you guys won 2 out of 3 in the regular season series. What were you able to go back and look at those games on how you might attack St. Viator?
Yeah, I mean, we looked at all the film. I've looked at film of games that, the other teams are playing, right? So we tried to look for their weaknesses. We did spot a few. Hopefully we can capitalize on that down low. And we got to pressure the net. If we pressure the net, we can win those battles, get some goals.
As much as I want to ask you about those weaknesses, I know you're not going to give them to me, so I'll just say good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Back up to you guys.
Well said, Max. Thank you for the interview. And here's a look at the live bracket as we speak. Already updated thanks to some tech work by Sam Schwartz and Jimmy Lewis Olsen, our producer. New Trier, we just saw them 5-0 win as they running clock their best buddies in Loyola Gold. Now to the other top half of the bracket, it was St. Viator, a dominant win of Glenbrook North yesterday, and Glenbrook South, although outshot by a handful, they were outshot by 9 individually between each the first and third period on its own. They still found a way to pull out a 2-1 victory. Without Blake Hoffer, the SHL scoring champion from last year, he's also not in the lineup today, but they've been playing solid without him.
I mean, a large part too, Thomas Preston, who we talked about yesterday throughout the quad header. We had the wealth of goalie talent in the SHL. The person that gets overlooked the most is the netminder that's going to be down to our right in white, Thomas Preston. Glenbrook South had the 3rd best goals against average in the entire league, better than New Trier Green even. People talk about Max Reed all the time, how good he's been. Thomas Preston has been just as good. He wears the A for a reason. He's going to be locked in tonight.
And let's talk St. Viator hockey, because they are one heck of a double-edged sword, outscoring their playoff opponents 20-1 right now. They look just about unstoppable, but Glenbrook South, they made that statement against York. Viator still the favorite here, but maybe to not as much of an extent as some people think.
Yeah, they won the SHL final. We heard from a couple of those guys post-game interview. They were not satisfied with that. They said it was cool, but this is the real prize they're going for. With how much of a wagon St. Viator has been on, the pressure is fully on them. If they don't win the state championship, they're not even going to think about the SHL final. This team has just been unstoppable. In their last 6 games, they've allowed 1 goal. It was on a penalty shot, so nothing in the actual skating of the game.
Yeah, that's one of my keys. They haven't given up a goal 5-on-5 in this state tournament. They haven't given up a goal on 5-on-5 in, I think, six or seven total games, including the SHL playoffs. So it's just a team that's been so well and played so hard on the defensive side of things, and that's what we've been seeing here in the last few games.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim Benz, SHL Coach of the Year, leading his pack to the Final Four just like last year, but can they get over that hump is the question, having lost to the Trevians last time around. Now they're the favorite, and they get to play their breed of hockey in front of their St. Viator faithful here. Not far of a travel at all for either sides, but especially for St. Viator. Here come the starting lineups from public address announcer Sam Schwartz.
And welcome to the AHAI High School Red Semifinals. Today's game features the Glenbrook South Titans versus the St. Viator Lions. And now, let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting team, the 5-seeded Glenbrook South Titans. They are coached by Jimmy Philbin Sr. Here is his starting lineup. At left defense, junior number 76, Will Fagan. At right defense, senior number 14, Ryan Mulvey. At left wing, sophomore number 11, Teddy McRulis. At right wing, senior number 40, Alex Tutai. At center, senior number 23, Asher Vanderplug. And in goal for the Titans, sophomore number 41, Thomas Preston. And the rest of the Glenbrook South Titans. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the 1-seeded St. Viator Lions. They are coached by Tim Benz. Here is his starting lineup. At left defense, senior number 19, Adam Papiol. At right defense, senior number 58, Jiyoung Han. At left wing, senior number 86, Albert Perswara. At right wing, junior number 54, Connor Sivigtroff. At center, senior number 12, Pepe Loboy. And in goal for the Lions, senior number 39, Calder Tumpin. And the rest of the St. Viator Lions. Let's meet today's officials. The referees are Steve Cohen and Colin McGregor. The Lions people are Anthony Garnello and Eric Netzel. Today's off-ice officials. The game timekeeper is Don Kagabine. The official scorer is Sam Schwartz. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able and willing and face the flag as we honor our country and those who serve with a recorded performance of the Star-Spangled Banner by Wayne Mesmer.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
It's a Sunday afternoon. It does not matter. The energy in here is lively, and we are ready to go. Once again, if you're just joining us, it's the last of 2 semifinals in the Red Varsity Division, number 5 GBS and number 1 St. Viator, as some new Trier players start to make their way through the concourse, as they'll have the opportunity to scout. We talked about this yesterday, Wes, to have that advantage, to win that first game, and now get to freely scout while you wait for your opponent on Friday at the Allstate Arena.
2 teams that are very familiar with each other. You're talking about New Trier scouting Viator. 2 teams that are very familiar with each other. New Trier scouting GBS. It's going to be an all SHL final. It's just, there's fireworks in the making, but before we get to Friday night, we got to get through this one.
Also, Tim Benz, head coach, alongside assistant coach, his brother Chris Benz, won a state championship with Glenbrook South the last time they did that in 2006. And guess who was their head coach? The very same Jim Philbin. So now they're going up against him in the biggest game of the season.
Glenbrook South has won the state championship twice, 1989 and 2006, as Dylan just hinted at. St. Viator, the number 1 seed for the first time in their school's history. SHL Coaches Trophy champion for the first time in their school history. And the SHL champion for the first time in their school history. Knocking on the door here, 1 game away from the Allstate Arena on Friday, but they have to get through these. Titans first. Ready to go at center ice, and Asher Vanderplug wins back the opening faceoff. With Glenbrook South in the light blue shoulders, white uniforms. St. Viator with the red alternates rocking today.
We talked about the season series. Glenbrook South has taken 2 out of 3. You look at St. Viator's record when scoring first, 18-2-2. Those 2 regulation losses were both the Titans' wins. They came back from 1-0 in both of those occasions.
Such a bizarre season series, as well as the team that was outshot every game was the one that was won.
Same with the away team winning every game too.
Glenbrook South, a very solid team away from home. Here's AVP going just wide. Asher Vanderplug moving up to forward this year. Suffered a tough injury as a junior last year, trying to finish out his high school career strong. As we get a whistle.
There's some room on
Guys,
that.
we've got an interesting one here to start. Calder Turpin's blade is off his skate down here at this end of the ice. I've seen that in skaters. I don't know that I've ever seen that on a goaltender.
Max, that's a massive development. That's why we have him down there on the ice. One of those, I'm not sure if he has the Bauer skates where it can just pop back in.
Wes, you nailed it.
Looks like he does. So look, at first I looked down on the bench. Joey Sclafini has got a stick in his hand. He's ready to come on into relief here, but it looks like Calder Turpin's just going to be able to pop that blade back into his skate.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to get Calder Turpin out of this goal the way he's been playing this postseason, guys. Mentioned it. It's been 6 games since they've given up a goal in regular play. Obviously, the PK goal yesterday broke the shutout streak, but it's been quite the run in terms of real action for St. Viator defensively.
Hey, talk about that victory against GBN. Just Theo Girathanis was the only Spartan to find the back of the net on the penalty shot. And Joey Sclafini, who has not appeared in the state playoffs or SHL playoffs, is anxiously waiting for his name to potentially be called, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They're going to work through this, make sure they get that skate blade on. Of Calder Turpin, who's 3-0 in the state tournament, just 1 goal allowed on 41 shots so far. He also held the best goals allowed average and save percentage among SHL goalies that were statistically qualified with a 1.77 goals allowed average. Or sorry, 1.31 and a 944 save percentage.
You can see Pepe LeBoy trying to help him get that blade back in place. There's something that looked like tweezers that you use to actually put to clip that back into the toque holder. You can see, I think that's assistant coach Chris Benz, on the ice helping him out. The refs might deem that he need to come out of the game and Joey Sclafini come in while they get the repairs done, but I would expect Calder Turpin to return as soon as they're able to fix that skate.
What a development, guys. We've been doing this a long time. I've never seen this, especially at this stage of the state tournament. Not like Joey Sclafini can't hold his own in goal, but Calder Turpin has just been so good. And you know how mentally that can mess with teams when you make a change like it. It's going to be an important first shift if, in fact, Calder Turpin's got to come out.
Well, Joey Sclafini did play 2 out of the 3 games in the season series, regular season anyway. He was involved in the 5-1 win for St. Viator on November 5th. and the 4-1 loss, that win for GBS back on January 11th.
Someone sacrifice a skate and get Calder Turpin back in there.
I think once he gets off the ice, it'll be a little bit easier. I think they need to wipe down the tube. Sometimes when it gets a little wet, it's just hard for that blade to go back in that holder, please. But I expect him to be right back on the ice here shortly.
All right, here we go. Joey Sclafini in between the pipes for St. Viator. They're back up. This is the goaltending room from the Varsity 2 team last year. Sclafini a 1.77 and a .915 save percentage in 11 regular season appearances. Worked ahead by Sibiktroth. Przwora tried to swing it back. Now Sibiktroth walks in, Wade shoots, and a save from Preston, who's going to need to be huge today for the Titans.
Luke, I might add that game on January 11th against GBS for Joey Sclafini, at least in the state of Illinois, was his last appearance. He may have been in net for some of the prep league games that the St. Viator team plays in, but it's been a while since he stood in an Illinois-based crease.
Guys, there's a team of people over here working on Calder Turpin. They cannot get that blade snapped back into the skate. Not sure where this is going to lead.
And it's not like Joey Sclafini can't hold his own either. You talk about his numbers, Luke. It's one of those, the team's got all the confidence in the world of him. It's just Calder Turpin has been that much better throughout the stretch that he's the one they truly have leaned on here in the state playoffs.
Quick breaking news, he got the skate fixed. He'll come in at the next whistle.
Save there by Preston. Thank you for the update, Max, who is not far from the scene. Some good eyewitness reporting as it's played right through the slot. Nobody there for the Lions.
Luke, Mr. Brucala wants me to let you know it was him that finally was got the muscle to snap it back in.
Of course he would let me know. Point shot on the way, and Preston got a piece of it with his pad. Back in deep now, Luke Fagan. Him and his brother Will coming to this GBS team last year from the Falcons Central States team. Is down in the corner, still anybody's puck. GBS finished 6th out of 10 teams in the SHL, but we mentioned they won the season series against the #1 team in St. Viator, who finished just a point ahead of New Trier down the home stretch. Those two eventually met in the SHL final. A cluster of red jerseys on the near side. It's eventually forked in deep by Mason Steffen, who scored the lone goal in the SHL final. As it was a mad scramble in front, Steffen got the last touch on it, just a sophomore. And here's Kolpins down in the corner. Pinto brushes him off. And deep now, Jonah Weiss trying to pry it free. The overtime hero in the round of 16. He also scored the opener yesterday against York, getting hot at the right time. At the point, Hogan swings it around the boards. Jackson Ventura tries to turn his forehand and just gets it out of the defensive zone before it's sent right back where it came from. Fourth meeting this season between these two teams. GBS with the last two. Sclafini able to get his body in a rhythm. And it's sent ahead by Przwora. Glove down by Weiss. Out at center now, it is Matthew Ciccone just firing in deep. Sibiktroth goes into forecheck while the rest change. LeBoy now looks high slot. Karam's off the far boards, kept in by Michael Ciccone. Played now out in front, attempted for Przwora. Instead now swiped the other way, and here comes Alex Tutai. Tutai not much going there. Some back-checking Lions on his tail. Up center ice, LeBoy swung it right to the stick blade of Mendoza. Delayed offsides for just a moment as now LeBoy goes into forecheck. Here is Asher Vanderploeg. Vanderploeg has been impressive against the Lions this season as that puck goes out of play.
That's up
2
down
goals
there.
and 2 assists in 3 games against the Lions.
On comes Calder Turpin, guys. I think Jake Brucala realized that they needed a whistle to get their goaltender back in.
Wes, I want to ask you, as a former goaltender, does this do anything mentally for Calder Turpin, kind of an unexpected situation, get you out of your flow of your game at all?
Not really, since he's only been gone for 2 or 3 minutes. If it extended a little bit longer, yeah, a little bit. You get a little cold just sitting there on the sidelines. But the fact that it was so quick, they're able to snap it back in. He gets mentally engaged right again. The fact that it happened so quickly. So no, not really. I expect him to be fine here down the stretch in this first period.
Bad time for your stick to snap, Teddy McCrulis, and he has to just dump it off. How often do you see it break on a pass? Loftus is crushed against the boards by Luke Fagan. This one slithers on to the red line, sent back in by Jae-Young Hong.
It's like he's got 2 mechanic stick who handed it off at the bench.
And he's right into battle here in front of the Titan bench. Vanderploeg pulls it out of the pile. Will shoot from a distance, but wide. Just trying to put a test here on Turpin. Will Fagan just able to hold the zone. It squeaks across to the far side of Ventura. Down the boards for Vanderplug. Swung back out in front. Ventura goes off target. Not a bad look nonetheless. Will Fagan now from a distance as Turpin got a piece of it.
Good push right here from the Titans, really testing Turpin early. Nothing on net exactly, but a lot of good score chances in the last couple of minutes.
Cosmeter got ran over. Titan bench wanted a penalty. Not enough here in a Final Four game. As Weiss just sends right back in. Cosmeter, who played with the Milwaukee Junior Admirals AAA team last year. First year of high school hockey. Ventura out in front for Weiss, but he just could not connect it on the cage.
One of those where we talk so much about how the Lions collapse in front of their goal. You see right there, that puck makes its way to that low slot area, but the Titans not able to get a shot on goal because the Lions are swarming in front of their goaltender.
Look at some physicality here between Fagan and Loftus.
Nice little reverse hit there by Fagan, using his body to protect the puck there. Gives a blow to the captain of the Lions and is able to move that puck out of the zone.
Offensive zone for Glenbrook South without one of their best offensive units in Blake Hoffer, who had 50 points in the SHL season last year in 33 games. You know who had the second most goals last year? Ryan Loftus, who ended up the goal scoring leader from the SHL this year. As a senior, trying to bring his school their first ever state championship. Down and around the wall, Zach Boris tries to play it far side and does for Graham Vanderplug. Stefan gets in there and chops it up to the near side. Worked off the wall, Pinto at center ice, taken away. Here comes Matthew Ciccone with a shot off target. Stefan holds.
Sorry, Mulvey doing a great job there to back check and get a stick on that before it came in on net.
Ryan Mulvey, the fourth-year varsity defenseman. And an all-state selection for this Glenbrook South team as they fire right back in on Turpin.
Luke, how about both captains being named Ryan and wearing number 14?
Something that you don't see quite that often. That's a great pickup by you, Dylan.
St. Viator, one of 3 teams in the entire state to have a nominee for All-State at every position. The other 2 just played. It was New Trier and Loyola.
Just shows you the depth here. As you'll see on the replay, Ryan Mulvey comes back and gets a stick on that last opportunity. Anything that they could do to help out their goaltender. They gave up, 34 shots yesterday to Duke. So Preston's been tested a lot already this weekend, just having all that big workload yesterday. So whatever you can do to help out your goaltender from the Titans' perspective here is going to be the better to try and get that defeat against a high-powered offense.
Penalty coming here on LeBoy. He cross-checked the Titan into the boards, and GBS will have the first power play unless they say otherwise. So the Titans, 19.8% in the SHL season when you combined the regular season and playoffs in their respective league, but they are 0 for 4 in state.
13, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
I think they said 13, but they meant Pepe LeBoy.
Well, they don't have a 13 on St. Viator, but yeah, it's going to be Pepe LeBoy, as you mentioned, Luke, for cross-checking.
So no power play goals in the state tournament for Glenbrook South. No power play goals allowed on the St. Viator end, with an asterisk, a penalty shot made by Girathanis yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a power play opportunity, so definitely counts, but I see where you're coming from. It's a penalty that led to a goal, but the power play, the actual strategy of the 5-on-4 defense is much different.
Will Fagan takes it off the face-off and just shovels it in deep. Here's the sophomore, Teddy McCrulis. Rough hold for Mulvey. He will play it across for alternate captain Asher Vanderplug. Mulvey repossessing. to Pinto on his tail. He'll swing it around. Turpin is having none of it. Comes out to play it and then shields it off for Hong. On Cosmeter near side. They've got it settled now, but not for long.
It's not on the same page right now are the Glenbrook South Titans.
Vanderplug walks in with a shot. Good stop by Turpin, but it's still up for grabs in the crease. Looks like a line's on top of it right now. Poked at by Asher Vanderplug and eventually covered for a whistle. The net cam won't come in useful on this look.
Yeah, we saw it over here too, guys. It was loose until the very last second. Turpin finally found it. I think it was under Jeong Hong. Dropped his glove on it, but nervy moment, too, as some hands were getting awfully close to that puck.
Looked like there's going to be another penalty shot there. Max, you see Asher Vanderploeg just coming down Main Street. A great shot on net. It's Calder Turpin on top of his crease. Looked like that dipped at the last second. An awkward save initially, but able to come up with it nonetheless.
Finally worked over the line by St. Viator. Here's Connor Civic-Trough. Didn't have it for long. Mulvey. That struck the far referee, and look what it turns into. Connor Civic-Trough is all alone, and he puts it wide. The SHL Player of the Year misses the 4x6.
What a chaotic sequence of events.
And right back comes Hogan in with a shot, punched away by Preston. What chaos.
The puck hitting the referee as that puck was dumped in led to a break coming the opposite way, and just not even a shot on goal off of that breakaway. Either way, Thomas Preston with a great blocker save on the second chance opportunity there by the Lions.
Mulvey tracking back. He'll get some help from Weiss. Pocket nearly picked by Kolpins. Just 17 seconds left on this man at advantage. Pepe LeBoy 2 for cross-checking.
Weird start to the game with Calder Turpin losing his blade. Pucks hitting the refs. People missing the net. Just neither team really has seemed to be able to settle in here this first half of this first period.
And a bad icing at the end of this power play. They probably had one more chance at it. Talk about it all the time. The cardinal sins of the power play. Can't offsides, and you definitely can't ice.
We got a great replay from that Civic-Trough breakaway. He just completely missed the net. Looked like there was a little room on that blocker side, but just put it wide past Preston's net.
Push forward off the draw and played out in front. They intended it for Steffen. A quick developing play not far from cashing for the Lions, as now we're back to even strength. LeBoy's out of the box. Here's the Allstate defenseman, Tommy Speck. They only pick 6 Allstate defensemen in the entire state. Anybody's puck just below the blue line, and Pinto's got a hold of it. Plays it to the near side, some risky movement. Kolpins with the takeaway, taps it out into the slot. Nobody there to retrieve it. Anthony Pinto. Now for Luke Fagan, goes for Weiss. Off a shove, he's able to chip in deep. And he'll be the one leading the forecheck as well on Steffen. Matthew Ciccone back for Mason Steffen, and here he is with room to roam. Steffen makes a move to the inside, but he's cut off by Pinto. Great defending. Pukala now taking the other way. Kosmeter. He's got a 3-on-1 for the Titans. Kosmeter pumps the brakes on the far side. Waits, now looks for a cutting. Pinto coming out the shot. Oh my, what a sliding block by John Kolpins. Luke Fagan now hesitates, shoots. What a save by Turpin. Back and forth we go. Now a moment to breathe.
Guys, we talked about it over and over again, how this St. Viator's team is so good at blocking shots. We see it right there on the replay. We got 2 guys laying out. And then on the second chance opportunity, this one gets through, but you got 3 guys trying to get in that shooting lane. Calder Turpin comes up with a great save.
And we see guys block shots all the time going to their bellies, but that was a full send on that first block shot, facing down that darting attempt from Anthony Pinto. What courage there from Kolpins.
Hockey fans, visit ChicagoWolvesStore.com to pick up the official 2026 High School State Championships t-shirt and souvenir puck, as Turpin with a nice stop there, along with a wide selection of Wolves jerseys, sweatshirts, tees, hats, and more. Another whistle. That would have been a good time to do it, I guess.
And it seems like the Lions have been on their heels. We talked about this Titans team coming in, trying to play the spoiler. As we see this puck, just Vanderploeg makes a nice little pass to Two-Tie. Two-Tie tests Turpin again on that blocker side, but great start so far from the GBS Titans here. As I mentioned, trying to play spoiler, doing a great job of getting pucks in deep and pucks on net.
Popio starting the breakout for St. Viator. 19-5-2 in the SHL regular season. Coach's trophy for the first time in their school's history, and we've got a penalty coming and a player down. It is Jayong Hong slowly grimacing up to stand on his 2 skates. And here comes the penalty announcement.
40 white, cross-check.
Cross checks on both sides now. Now looks Tutai just getting a tad too aggressive there on Jeong Hong, and St. Viator unloads arguably the second best power play in the state. Behind Lake Forest, they had the most power play goals in SHL play when you combine the regular season and playoffs with 21 total. 3 power play goals in 3 state games. They're trying to make it 4-4 here. Loftus hesitating, gets out to the forehand, and that one blocked off, but the Titans can't clear. Ryan Loftus up top to the top of the umbrella for Connor Sivictroth, soaked up by Asher Vanderplug with a sliding block. Now Albert Prizwara picks it up and gets below the goal line. To the far side, LeBoy. Sivictroth. Loftus now swinging down in front for Prizwara. Fandon on the one-timer opportunity. Back up top, Sivictroth. Loftus again, fires, and that's blocked by Fagan. Will Fagan to be exact. Sivictroth now. Back for Loftus. Hesitates, fires another, and that's blocked off. Sivictroth, LeBoy far side, kicked away by Preston. 50 seconds into the power play. Sivictroth, he'll fire now, and Preston never saw it. They'll try again. Beautiful, fluid movement here. It's Loftus, goes down. Prizwara misses the frame. LeBoy, some troubles keeping, but he does so in the end as it's worked down back below the goal line for Koenig. The captain, Ryan Loftus, back down in deep. Koenig brushes off a check and works it up top for LeBoy. Can't handle. Tim Ben starting to motion his second power play unit to get ready from the bench. Loftus now with 36 on St. Viator's first power play, and it's a shorthanded chance the other way. Jonah Weiss all alone, cannot get a good wood on it. He'll follow up now, wrap around, and Turpin makes the save. What a state playoffs Jonah Weiss has had, but a moment to forget there.
Great back check there, though, by Sivictroth. I think that's what disrupted Weiss on that breakaway, but a great turnaround shot. He tests Turpin again as he tried to wrap around on that near side.
Colton Newhouse roaming inside the offensive zone, couldn't get a shot to connect. Tutais out of the box.
Great effort to settle it down as well, to give himself that breakaway. If he doesn't use that hand-eye coordination, that puck's going past him.
Incredible bat down. It's a great point you make that started that opportunity. Back out into the slot now. It's Matthew Ciccone trying to pull it free. As now Stefan recovers and cycles it down the far corner boards. Pinto. Opens all over him. Now Weiss smacks it around to the far side for Cosmeter. The former AAA player goes ahead now for Mulvey. The Glenbrook South captain for Ventura. Back down low for Mulvey, getting involved in the offensive action here. Pinto from a distance, slid it wide. And now Weiss puts it back towards the net. Easy steer aside for Turpin. Hogan is hounded down below the goal line by Ventura. Relentless forecheck here, bringing both skaters down to their knees. Forked up to the point, now played down the far side, Asher Vanderplug. Pinto waits, takes a shot that's blocked by Kolpins. And Speck tries to evade it out of there, but Pinto the hold, it sneaks out through, and a chance for Cosmeter. He just couldn't corral it.
I think he lost his stick there. Not sure if it broke or just fell out of his hands.
Looks like, yeah, he had a little bit of contact there as he was trying to make a play on the puck.
St. Viator a little out of sorts on their breakout here in the first period. They nearly turn it over again. Instead, it's lodged ahead by Steffen. Mason Steffen sees a lane to the net, and a save from Preston, who traps it for a whistle.
Guys, I want to go back to that shorthanded breakaway. It didn't look like the best attempt, but what you probably couldn't see in real time, right as he was about to get rid of the shot, the puck rolled just a little bit on edge. I'm sure Jimmy's queuing up a replay up there for you guys. I wonder if it comes through up there.
We're looking at some of the opportunities on the replay from that power play.
There it is.
We got a great one. Yeah, we've got a great pickup by UMax. We see it there right at the end. It just rolls over his stick, but you can see he turns around and tries a hard wrap, forcing Turpin to make a great save with the blocker. That's why we have the eyes and ears Max Anderson down there with a great pickup on that last attempt by the Titans.
Just trying to fill your shoes the best I can down here, Wes.
I appreciate that, my friend.
Four-man booth today, so if we do miss anything, we should be fired.
Well,
Max Anderson at ice level, Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward, Luke Jordan.
No one commissions down there on the ice.
Well, he might be doing the fire.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's Loftus now on the left side of the ice, chips in deep.
Called job security, gentlemen.
But I've got to say, this has been a great period for the Titans. You can see up to the top left on the scoreboard, leading shots 9-6 right now, and doing a great job of just getting the Lions team out of their flow.
Tickets are on sale now for the Illinois boys varsity combined and varsity red high school state championships at Allstate Arena on March 6th. For tickets, visit chicagowolves.com/state championships. It's 5 days away. One of these two teams will meet New Trier there. Will it be St. Viator, who will have the home bench, or GBS, who will be looked at as an underdog yet again? Civic Troth out of the pile in the high slot. Turns and weaves it up for Speck as it pinballs around in the slot, cleared out of there by Glenbrook South, who leads the shot category, as Wes mentioned, 9-6. Verbal arguments between the student section right now.
Great back and forth, a great crowd.
Here's Ventura now on a one-on-one. Ventura lofts a shot, saved by Turpin as it lofts right into his glove.
See the Viator coaching staff upset that there was an interference called there at the blue line, but either way, you can see it right before this opportunity by Ventura. One of the Viator defensemen loses the glove, but Calder Turpin, again, just on top of his crease. You can see the sight line there from the bench. There's really nothing to shoot at. Makes that save look so easy, and it's able to pounce on the rebound.
First year at Varsity 1 for Calder Turpin and Joey Sclafini, but it feels like they've been here for 4 years, the way that they play and how comfortable Turpin is in his own crease. Will Fagan, this one batted down by Papio, and that will bring the puck into the Lions' defensive zone with exactly 100 seconds left in the first frame.
Dylan has hinted at it. You saw Weiss on that breakaway. The hand-eye coordination of these kids is just remarkable.
Unreal.
You know, one of those popular, you know he's not meaning to do that, to knock it down with a high stick, but it's just reactionary, right? Where he's just so used to hitting it down. It's just incredible how quick their hands are.
LeBoy thrown out. Connor Civic-Troth steps in. 10 points in 3 playoff games so far. It's not bad. As he'll go vertical for LeBoy, but just miss him. Vanderpluk felt some pressure in deep. It's worked up to the line. Hong with the shot. Steered aside by Preston. Worked up to the point. Popule bouncing its way on through. Civic-Troth in front. Oh, what a save by Thomas Preston. He might have gotten it with the toe. We stay scoreless. Hong now from the point. It's a scramble for it in the slot. Pulled back by St. Viator. Civic-Troth now protecting on his backhand. Sees a lane into the slot, and he's rocked. What a hit by Will Fagan. And the Fagan brothers are mostly efficient at one thing. It's their physicality. They can lay the boom. Brizwara down in the corner. In front, Civic-Troth fires and scores! The SHL Player of the Year opens the scoring in the second semifinal.
And you could just feel that coming. It seemed like if the Titans were just able to get that puck out of their zone and reset, they would have been able to escape this. And you can't leave 54 in red open in the slot like that. He will rarely miss. Just before he scores, a great save by the glove hand of Thomas Preston, but the second time Connor Civic-Troth would not be denied. He goes upstairs just under the bar and gives the St. Viator Lions their first lead of the night.
Wes, you mentioned it. You just can't leave that much space in the slot for a player as good as 54 in blue, asking for trouble if you're GBS.
Game by game in the state tournament, 5 points, 3 points, 2 points, and 1 to start in the semifinal.
Luke, as you were saying that, you said 10 points in 3 games. It's like Paul Bissonnette would always ask me, like, oh, is that good? Yeah, it's remarkable at that. Averaging over 3 points a game in the state playoffs is why this St. Viator's team has been so successful in their run to the state championship.
Connor Civic-Troth, one of the top 5 scorers on last year's squad. St. Viator returned 4 of their top 5 scorers. They returned 5 of their top 6 defensemen. And you can see Whether it's the top line or bottom line, they just find ways to put it in the back of the net.
Got a penalty, I think, here, guys.
14 red. 2 minutes.
Ryan Loftus shaking his head.
Didn't catch that one in real time, guys.
Yeah, me
I saw
neither.
the ref's arm up.
Well, I said if we miss something, then we miss something. Max, give us one more chance. Oh, goodness. And Glenbrook South will go to the power play.
I don't feel like I can fire you if I didn't pick it up either.
there you go.
Touche. Will Fagan at the goal line to get things going for Glenbrook South. Tim Benz, I got a very subtle chance to talk to him before this game at the second intermission of the first semifinal. He said, we got to stay out of the box. Simple as that. And they score! Ryan Mulvey with a cannon to the net. And just like that, as St. Viator wants a high stick, I don't think they're going to get it.
I don't think it made contact anyways.
Max, I agree with you. The way that Ryan Mulvey scores, you can usually tell how a team celebrates. Just some good movement up top. And a seeing eye shot with this traffic in front. Taking away the eyes of Calder Turpin. He never sees this. At the last second, he flails his arms up in the air. Will Fagan doing a great job. And it doesn't look like he ever touched that. And the Titans with a great response. Yeah, that just hit.
I'll just add to that, too. I'm down here on ice level. I would have noticed a redirect because it was right in front of my vision. That was a clean puck all the way through to the net.
Yeah, Max, on top of that, you can always tell when the way somebody reacts, if they touch the puck or not. And as you mentioned, our eyes and ears down there, that puck never changed direction.
Steffen now. Couldn't get much mustard on that one. And that is one period in the books. Thank the Lord we have 2 more to play at least. Unbelievable start to the second semifinal. And it is 1-1. Glenbrook South with a key late first period goal from what seems to be Mulvey, unless they're going to score it otherwise.
Yeah, Jimmy, if we could take a look at that shot one more time, maybe if we can get the goal cam and the PTZ and really slow it down as much as you can.
I think especially that PTZ.
I want to see if Will Fagan, because it looks like this is the St. Viator goal. Get the goal that was just scored by Glenbrook South. Because the way Will Fagan celebrated almost looked like, I just want to get a really clear picture here. And Jimmy, as slow as you can go on the goal cam and PTZ.
Here we go. PTZ will help a lot more, I think. Watch this angle.
Fagan celebrates like it's his goal.
Right here.
This will give us a
Super
great
slow.
shot. No, that looks like that goes straight in. It's one of those, because Calder Turpin, he's trying to look through that screen. You see it never, Max. This is a good pickup for you.
I don't know, though, because
it might
I
hit
think
his
he
glove.
does get a piece of it, because look, it's going to go above the net. If not, Jimmy, rewind it back a couple more frames. Look at the trajectory of this puck.
Yeah, it looks like it's... I think that got a piece of him.
By the way, regardless, it sticks below the crossbar, so,
Yeah,
so
it's either
I don't
way it's
even
gonna
think.
count.
Well, where it hits his stick, yes, but it was a
I
little
think that's
high
Will
at first
Fagan's
with
goal.
the toe, but it didn't hit it, so I think he's good. I mean, in real time, I think I would be complaining on the St. Viator bench, but watching that back, you got to admit, this game's 1-1.
100%. And great response there by the GBS Titans. As we've got Sam Schwartz and Dylan trying to make sure we give everybody the proper credit here on the broadcast.
My final verdict is no contact on the deflection.
One way or another. It's
I'm also not the official scorer, Sam Schwartz is, but that's my take.
a much-needed goal one way or another to tie this game up at 1. Last-second adjustment coming from St. Viator. Popiel's coming to the bench. Don't know exactly what is holding us up at this point. Change of sticks. I think he felt a break in his initial stick in the left defense spot. He taps in LeBoy to take the face-off.
Second period of the long change. Teams are shooting in front of their fans. As a goalie, you always got to watch out for the chirps.
Especially don't want to get a penalty in this period. Semifinals, really any period, but some more than others. Popiel, 2-tie now forks it ahead. or at least tries to. He's tangled up with Popiel. Teddy McCrulis skating back. Now Asher Vanderplug with a costly giveaway. LeBoy nudged off the puck as those two go shoving around the two centers. Fagan goes back for Ryan Mulvey. It's Luke Fagan on the ice, not Will Fagan. Will Fagan, a defenseman, was involved in that screen of Turpin in front of the crease. Interesting adjustment from Jim Philbin, but it worked. So look, big thanks to our sponsors, of course. Plenty of SHL teams and others. We thank you all for making this possible. You're not seeing this without them. And of course, everybody working behind the scenes as well.
Guys, through 3 games of state playoff action, St. Viator has a devastating 13-0 goal differential in the second period. We'll see if they can unload here.
Similar to New Trier, they really take over in this second frame. It's one of those, when you have that long change, as you mentioned, Dylan, you can really ham a team into their own zone. It makes it so hard for that defensive core to get off the ice, and you have the firepower like the Lions, that just makes it even harder to keep them off the scoreboard.
Ventura couldn't get any wood on it. Here is Newhouse, can't handle. Weiss all over his case as well. Does stretch a pass now for Ryan Loftus, who swings it around the boards. Loftus to reinforce as Newhouse glued to the corner. Golden Newhouse around for Loftus. And back around it comes. This time Finn Hogan. Loftus will pressure Will Fagan, but it's worked up the wall anyway for Ventura. Stretch pass. Now brought in by Cosmeter with numbers crashing. Cosmeter couldn't scrape a pass across, regains the puck, shoots from a distance, and that's skated away by Newhouse. Mendoza, good hold, but he had a man in a change. And now Speck goes vertical, just out of reach for Ryan Loftus, who still battles for it. Has it down below the goal line. Ryan Loftus plays across some open space, and a shot going just wide from Matthew Ciccone. Hogan keeps, and we go back in deep. Cosmeter with contact from Hogan, just is able to get it out. Under 15 minutes in the second period, we're tied at 1. With a late first period goal from Glenbrook South. Mason Steffen going to the net, backhands one across, just out of reach for Matthew Ciccone. Raiden Mendoza, pocket pick, fed out in front for Steffen. One heck of a hustle play on both ends, just could not get it to go as Preston saves another. That's his 9th save on 10 shots in this game. And right back the other way is John Kolpins. Tries to shovel one inside. Steffen, bodied off by Daniel Sokol. Sokol, the senior, sends it out to center ice. Now Michael Ciccone. Bouncing its way, covered by Preston.
To close the loop on the goal, it is officially awarded to Will Fagan, according to our official scorer, Sam Schwartz.
And great cover there by Preston. You could see Fagan and Mendoza got stuck out there on an extended shift.
Do you know a hockey mom who goes above and beyond? If so, nominate her to become our Hockey Mom of the Month, presented by FenceWorks. Winners will be recognized throughout the season. Nominate your hockey mom at ChicagoWolves.com/hockeymom. We saw plenty of centers get thrown out in the first game, and they're starting to tack on here. It's Asher Vanderplug thrown out. Fed now down below the backboards. Penalty coming. It's going to be on Glenbrook South. And a second power play opportunity will come.
It's going to be hooking, and I think it's going to be hooking. That's all I'll say.
Writing some notes down, so I wasn't able to see it, but teams trading off power plays here in the last few minutes.
2 minutes, hooking.
You're good there, Dylan. Dylan's always reminding me that the ref mic's on. Something that we forget from time to time. Just another great feature that we've added here on the broadcast for these playoffs.
It's one of those that's not only on the broadcast, but it's for the people in the ring too, which I think is just great. Sam Schwartz does such a great job with everything he does.
St. Viator wins the opening faceoff. Here's Civic Chalk, who has the St. Viator goal. Circling around, gives it across. One-timer, LeBoy, saved by Preston.
The Lions do such a good job when they finally get in their sets with the man advantage. We'll see on the replay here, that's open space on that weak side for LeBoy to just step into one, and there's some jostling going on in front with Thomas Preston just fighting through a screen. Kanek just doing a great job of being a pest in front of that blue paint.
Loftus has it top of the circle, now walks into the slot. Another shot block by Asher Vanderploeg. He has been all over the shooting lane so far. And here's Loftus on the reset. Ryan Loftus dancing through, goes to the net, and he's knocked off in the end, no penalty. LeBoy, center blue line Civic Chalk, back for Pepe LeBoy, drags and fires, he scores! Absolute missile, top left corner, and St. Viator reclaims the lead.
Luke, this is what I was talking about just before this happened. You can see the exchange up top and then traffic in front. Thomas Preston never sees this. He goes down in the butterfly because he can feel a shot coming in, but as that puck comes in on net, Kanek just does a great job of getting in front of his sight line.
Wes, you called it, wanted to make sure Kanek got the credit there. His big body gave Preston not an ounce of a view on that puck as it came towards him.
You can see he pointed right to Pepe LeBoy too, knowing it takes a team to really get these goals on the power play. Pepe LeBoy with a great shot, but Kanek with equally a better screen.
22 goals in the state tournament now for St. Viator, 4 of those on the power play. As we've got the near referee tumbling. Give him credit for getting right back up. Speck down the side now for Colpins. Now Matthew Ciccone in front, nearly trouble coming from Stefan. Still feels like a power play at the moment. Now Mendoza just trying to clear. Finds Ventura, pinballs back into Luke Fagan. Watch out, he almost had his stick lifted. Luke Fagan now leads it ahead, Cosmeter. Nice drop for Ventura, shot from a distance, save. The rebound nearly fought for and won by the Titans, instead taken in by St. Viator. They try to stretch it out of the zone, but miss Matthew Ciccone off a deflection. Luke Fagan coughs it up to Pinto with a blast that goes well wide and rings its way around. Cosmeter just in deep, and the final Titan changes will be made. With St. Viator, plenty of space on the near side. They'll advantage that to find Loftus. Nice move to the forehand now as it bounces its way towards the net. Still no whistle here, plenty of shoving, and it would have been a great rebound chance.
That puck was never secured, guys. That's a break for GBS. I think that probably would have ended up being a goal for St. Viator when it popped out towards me down here in the corner.
I think so as well.
Max, yeah, you could see it from the booth up here too. Loftus with a great move to get free, and you can see as we zoom in, that puck right around here.
Yep.
Is still free. Max, it's a great pickup from you. I think the ref, since he's behind the net, he doesn't have that sight line that we do. So in his eyes, the puck is stopped and he can't see anymore, and that's what causes the whistle.
If there's any saving grace, the Viator player's shot got blocked by Tutai, who had stopped playing already, so it didn't actually go in the net, which should have been more controversial.
He's off to the races there, trying to now level a line in the corner. St. Viator has controlled play as the last couple of minutes and nearly added on. Preston goes stumbling back, has to still make a save and does so. And here comes more. One-timer fanned down by Newhouse. Now Hong just swings it around. Loftus battles in deep with Asher Vanderploeg. To Tomito in front. Oh, what a save from Preston. So out of nowhere, I bobbled my own words.
And add that to the list of great saves he's made tonight. Just that puck has eyes, and it just pops out the low crease, and he comes flying off of his line to make himself look big. You see right there, it just pops out. You see his hands come out, makes himself big, and catches it in the breadbasket.
Shots on goal at this point, 7-1 Viator in the second period after GBS outshot them 11-9 in the first.
And guys, underrated play there by Hong. A lot of times you see guys whip that towards net, but him just cycling the puck ended up giving St. Viator a great look at it. The patience offensively can be the difference as well.
Well said. A lot of offensive patience displayed by New Trier in that semifinal game, and that's what leads them to the Allstate Arena after a 5-0 win. Here comes LeBoy curling out to the right side, can't dangle inside. and it's still fought for in deep. Civic-Trough pestered against the boards by Jonah Weiss, and Weiss is the one who pulls it out. Real nice defensive effort from Weiss, who now settles down the puck. He's got a bad relationship with that puck rolling on him in this one so far. Here's Speck, up ice now for Civic-Trough. Looking for another in this game. Civic-Trough turns one towards net. Rebound is now below at the goal line, centered back in front, but no connection there for Priswara. Kosmeter goes to the far side for Weiss. Could be numbers. Weiss fires from a distance. And a bit of contact in the end, but it's held on to by Calder Turpin nonetheless.
Great hockey IQ by Connor Civic-Trough. He tries to beat the defense wide here, and he knows he doesn't have an angle, so he throws the shot off the pad of Preston there with Speck driving towards that middle lane. That almost ends up in the back of the net. Then the opposite side, Calder Turpin with a great glove save and some contact at the end, but I don't think that's enough to warrant a penalty. Good on the refs to keep the whistles away on that one. Just some incidental contact that happens as you're trying to crash the net and, you know, find that rebound if it's there.
Pitchforked ahead now. It's Michael Ciccone getting involved now offensively, threw one off the right pad of Preston. Bukala. Trickling puck now, Mendoza beaten to it by Stefan to the net. Oh, what a save by Preston. He stands tall and does not allow a jabbing attempt to get by him.
Give Mulvey some credit there too. He disrupts that play at the last second. He's done a great job on the weak side. You can see he gets his stick in right there. Really eliminates that play or that shot from ever happening. He's made 2 or 3 great defensive recoveries in this game to help out his goaltender and keep this a 2-1 hockey game.
Just like that, St. Viator now at 20 shots on goal all of a sudden. They have achieved it out of thin air. We mentioned Glenbrook South maintaining the play, the shots on goal in that first period, Dylan.
Yeah, Luke, 11-1 in the period now.
Holy
for St.
cow.
Viator.
And Stefan trying to add on and find the most important stat and a goal. Matthew Ciccone now slips on a banana peel. And Mendoza will swing it up to the near side. But that puck is really starting to get slowed down by the snow. Eventually out of the zone is Jackson Ventura, backhanding it in deep.
Delayed penalty,
yeah. They caught a Vlian for holding. Ventura was the one who drew it.
I think, is that Finn Hogan? It's what by the book, this is a penalty when you take your hand off the stick.
Good numbers. 90. 90. 90 on the red. 2 minutes for holding.
It's Colpin's my mistake. One of those, Max. You know, when we don't have the name plate on the back of the jersey, it's hard to tell who's actually going in the box. It's Colpin's, not Finn Hogan. But by the rule book, when you take your hand off the stick and you go to reach to stop a player, that's why it's called holding. It was very minor at the end. One of those you would think that the refs would let them play through that. But a good pickup by the Stripes downstairs, and GBS goes back to the power play.
What a ref mic moment. What number is it?
Reminds me of Wes McCauley in the NHL.
90 on the red.
I know we're not playing roulette.
So Glenbrook South, their lone goal, a power play goal. Can they find another? Kosmeter spins away, not enough for a penalty there it seems. Cleared by Lavoie. Still could be danger coming from the penalty killers. It's Civic-Trough. He's out there with DePinto, taken away for just a moment, he regains and now fires it deep. Nice 40-second shift there for Connor Civic-Trough. Able to burn off some clock while Glenbrook South still possesses in their own end. St. Viator penalty kill, 85.6% in the SHL regular season and playoffs combined. Here's Loftus. Trudging ahead down the right side of the ice. She tries to pick a corner but misses. And here comes McCrulis, turning back, now shovels a pass ahead for Asher Vanderploeg of AIDS 1. Drops it back. It's Kosmeter playing across for Mulvey with 40 seconds left on the power play. Up top, Vanderploeg waits, fires a shot, traffic in front, it's bouncing just past the goal line, but wide of the net. Corner battle, Popiel grappling his man against the corner boards. It's a 3-on-1 here in deep for the Titans. No support coming from St. Viator. Popiel's got to be careful as it's centered out in front. There's the penalty, and Glenbrook South has a 5-on-3 coming for the next 21 seconds. Oh, hold on. Did they call Glenbrook South too? I see a lot of frustration here from Owen Cosmeter.
Not entirely sure. We're gonna get the ref mic here in a second.
Here we go.
Penalties. The initial call for 22, hold. 19, hold.
Well, offsetting in the end. I don't know. What do you guys think there?
Well, let's see if we got a replay of the play. He said the initial penalty was on
That's
22,
what I
if
thought
heard
the
that
initial was on
correctly.
Popio.
Looked like Cosmeter was at the bottom of the pile there. So unless something happened before they went to the ice.
Jim Philbin having a discussion with the referees. Obviously, he doesn't like the call behind the GBS bench.
Neither is the Viator bench, frankly, either. This officiating crew getting it from both sides right now.
You don't see Jim Philbin get too angry. He usually is pretty relaxed there behind the bench, calm guy off the ice as well. You don't see him usually get that angry. You look down on the bench right now, you can see his face is fully red. So definitely not happy with the call on the opposite side. I really do think, if anything, that should be a Viator penalty. So I'm not entirely sure why the Viator bench is upset that this is offsetting penalties here.
Yeah, I thought it was Popio, the one that kept his arms wrapped around there, and you kind of saw the natural reaction from Cosmeter. You're picking me too? So, in all reality, no harm, no foul. It remains a Glenbrook South power play, but they very much could have had a 5-on-3 for a dozen seconds and some change here.
They scored a 5-on-3 goal in one of their wins against St. Viator earlier this season. That would have been a huge opportunity for them. And still figuring it out at the bench. Actually, it looks like
They're fixing his jersey.
Malfunction. Is that the ref mic?
Oh boy, no, we need that. No, we need that. Oh no. Well, they better have the other one call the rest of the penalties.
Yeah.
So we'll have to live without that for some time. Here's Fagan. Across Pinto, point shot. Ends up wide. Good hold by Asher Vanderploeg, walking into the high slot with the rifle. Turpin got a piece of it, pops back out in front, and cleared by St. Viator as Colpins is out of the box.
They just called icing.
Uh-oh.
More than enough time on the penalty there. That is a bad missed call on the Viator bench. Not happy. They dropped the puck at center ice to make up for their mistake. But
And for the people who don't know, it's when the puck's released. It's not when the puck crosses the goal line with time on the clock. That's why that's going to come to center ice. Dylan, as you mentioned, right on top of it. Great analysis by you.
That is a great replay, Jimmy.
phenomenal.
Tim Benz might be the calmest to talk to off the ice, but when you tick him off, the hands start flying.
You can see he's almost as red as the jerseys of his team right now.
You guys, I've repositioned a little bit closer to the benches. Want to hear what these guys are saying down here because the frustration level is high both ways.
Nice stick check by Pinto. Alex Tutai now for Teddy McCrulis, taken back the other way. Mason Steffen on the right side, rifles one on, save. Preston he teased the rebound and eventually gave it out. Now a wraparound try couldn't be smacked home by Steffen. As Anthony Pinto just gets things out of there. Was that behind the line? No. Or yes, maybe?
Yeah, a lot of confusion.
There they are again.
This is not the same replay, folks.
No, not the same replay, because one ref waved it off, and the other ref blew it down, so they're just not on the same page. And the good thing about Max being down there near the bench is he got that yellow folder, so we can find him pretty easily, trying to stay in tune to what's going on at that Viator bench as all the chaos is going on down the ice.
In fairness, for my eyes, he was several steps behind the red line there, so
Oh,
I think
agreed.
that was the right call.
It was the right call. I think that the Viator benches was upset because they saw one of the refs wave it off initially. So they in their minds, they thought it should have been waved off and play should have continued. But Max, you're right. That should have been, either way, that should have been icing.
Here's LeBoy. Down the corner trying to knock his way off of Will Fagan. Instead loses his left mitt. Right mitt. From the point, Hogan. Now Priswara curls back up top. Albert Priswara given a chance to shoot, and he nearly capitalized, instead covered by Thomas Preston. Would have to say Albert Priswara probably the biggest All-State snub of the season with the way he's been playing, especially in these playoffs.
Yeah, 4 goals in the first 4 games.
A goal in every state playoff game so far, with the exception of this one in progress.
Still got some time to add to that total though, Luke.
Sure does, and he has it, centers it out in front, sticked away by the goalie twig of Thomas Preston, the sophomore. Priswara lays a booming check in front of the Titan bench while it's fought for in deep. Here's Weiss on his backhand, centers it in front, they score! Jackson Ventura, we're tied again!
What a play by the Titans below the net. That puck moves to the left of Turpin. Did a great replay here. Weiss just with some great pass to the front. Ventura doesn't get all of it, but gets enough of it. As you can see right here, just a great backhand sauce. Flutters a little on Ventura, but hits the back bar, and we are tied here at West Meadows Ice Arena.
I imagine somewhere, good friend of the network, David Ventura, pretty happy for his brother getting that game-tying goal.
Max, you took the words out of my mouth. Actually, his younger cousin, along with Nick Ventura, former Glenbrook South Titan, but Jackson Ventura with a huge goal right there. That one just his 10th of the season.
One way or another, he reps the last name, and he reps it well, equalizing this game 2-2. Asher Vanderbloek trying to extend, and that goes wide. Luke Fagan now from the point, that's soaked up. Here comes Ryan Loftus. Quickly the other direction. Loftus feeds it into the slot, couldn't be angled on by Newhouse. Newhouse now for Loftus, in front to Pinto, going just wide. Ryan Loftus back to the point, Pukala with the blast, and that one through traffic, just couldn't find the cage.
Great response shift here by the Lions.
Without a doubt. And as Luke Fagan gets it back just past the center ice circle, now into the defensive zone of St. Viator.
And that is the first goal St. Viator has allowed in a long time, 5-on-5.
Good feed across. Here's Loftus with a shot off target. And Michael Ciccone can't keep. It's a foot race on the right side of the ice. Mechanic being angled in on now. Just goes from a distance, but he got to be better than that to get by Calder Turpin. Back and forth we go, and this one's going to be icing. You have seen time and time again Glenbrook South playing in some real tight games in the state tournament. 3-0 win against number 28, Lake Forest Blue. Then an overtime thriller against Notre Dame, and then beating York yesterday 2-1.
Guys, Charlie Mechanic gets the secondary assist. That is his first point since November 19th. What a moment for the senior fourth liner.
We talked about how you need your depth to win games. You need some unlikely heroes. Mechanic with a great secondary assist there to get his team tied up here in the second.
Weiss, it's fought for in the circle and swiped wide in the end. Under 5 minutes left in period number 2, and it's 2-2. Where else would you want to be right now, other than watching this fantastic affair? As Turpin will get us another whistle, and we'll take all the chances we can to catch our breath while we can.
Correct myself, Mechanic is a junior, not a senior, but either way, he started that play behind the net, got it to Weiss, who got it to the goal scorer.
Great pass by Jonah Weiss. He splits the legs of Speck there, able to find Ventura backdoor in the slot.
Good feed in front, and a backhander wouldn't go for Cosmeter. Matthew Ciccone is ran over. Stefan flings in deep. Anthony Pinto has to watch his tail and just gets it out to center ice. Will Fagan uses his body, but nearly costly gave it away to Stefan. Had a lot of those close calls with the puck that resulted in near turnovers. Makrulis to the far side. No trigger pulled by Cosmeter successfully. Here comes Kolpins, he goes down. No need for a penalty there, but Stefan carries on. Tries to feed it out in front, but regains below the goal line for just a moment as Anthony Pinto starting up on the left side of the ice. Owen Cosmeter now for Weiss, jolting ahead. He was near to tripped by Civic Trough. Still has it now, down the right side, but nothing going. Up the other way, something happened behind the play. Here comes Matthew Ciccone. Into the high slot, Simic taps it on, save. Ciccone waiting, gives it in front with the shot, denied again by Preston. Pepe Lavoie that time. Lavoie takes it away, Prizwara out in front, cannot connect with Connor Simic. It swiped the other direction, and here comes Glenbrook South in a 3-on-1. They throw it away. Oh, Teddy McCrulis missed the stick of Asher Vanderploeg.
I think he didn't know he had the 3-on-1. I think he was just going for the dump in.
Gotta talk, but it's loud in here. Lavoie, right side now for Simic. Back for Lavoie, could not get good wood. Alex Tutai, that's behind the line, but they wave it off. Oh boy. 3-on-2 the other direction anyway. Good feed for DePinto, drops back, Loftus looking backdoor, but Prizwara tied up. Now Ryan Loftus, turned over. Just above 2 minutes left in period number 2 as Weiss dices through. Jonah Weiss into the netting.
Some great action both ways, as you see. That's what the crowd was reacting to behind the play. Jonah Weiss took an extra shot to the head there, and Lavoie, he had Simic there backdoor, but I think he just got the puck too in tight. The only thing he could do was throw that on net, force Preston to make another great save. So the last 2 or 3 minutes, just some great end-to-end action both ways from both teams, just really starting to amp up the tension that's starting to build as we go into the third period.
It's got third period tension in here already for sure. With how back and forth this middle frame has been after St. Viator got out to a charging start. Glenbrook South has recollected themselves, still outshot by 10 here in game totals, 24-14. Nearly a bad giveaway, and it is. Ventura out in front for Weiss, trying to get to the forehand, but cannot succeed.
Great poke there by Calder Turpin.
Loftus is rocked at the blue line, and he is not getting up right now, now up to his knees. Here comes Glenbrook South the other way. Cosmeter drags and misses the crossbar as it comes around for McCrulis with space. Teddy McCrulis, patient to the net, save Turpin. Will Fagan holds. Dances away from Newhouse and backhands a pass intercepted by Loftus, who is right back into action. The St. Viator captain to his backhand. Traces the near side circle and gives it away to McCrulis now in white. Teddy McCrulis avoids the check, finds Vanderploeg, Asher Vanderploeg near side, a whistle.
Felt like we needed that. Vanderploeg tries to test Turpin to that blocker side. One of those skate right, shoot left. And then again, Calder Turpin bites on that initial shot, but stays with it. And it's just another great save by Alliance netminder.
Guys, final minute of the period, final minute of the first, each team with a goal. See if we get any late fireworks before heading into the locker room.
Tutai trying to do just that, but it caroms off the far glass. Now McCrulis on his backhand, near side, swings it out in front on the forehand, but Turpin traps it down.
It's a short side jam play there. Tutai in the front seat of Calder Turpin, but Turpin holds that post tight. Nothing's gonna beat him when he's got that short side locked up like that. He's able to freeze it down before anything else can happen. We've seen that a few times, some chaotic plays in front of each of the netminders' nets, so anytime they can freeze that puck, the better.
There's Prizwara. Getting some help from Civic Troth, who taps in deep. Will Fagan. Close to a hook, will play on. Puck is lodged under Tutai, laying on his side. And people start complaining. Asher Vanderploeg, what a feed for Teddy McCrulis. McCrulis to the backhand, shovels it on, and a save from Turpin. Quick sequence from Teddy McCrulis, the speedy sophomore. as it's worked around into the netting. There will still be a chance for a face-off here, 7.7.
Or the Viator fans calling out Preston by name earlier in the period. The Titan student section, a little more work to do without it printed on the back of the jersey, but they figured it out, and they had some words for Turpin as well.
Yeah, both goaltenders going through their fair share of abuse now that the goalies are on the sides of their opposing fans. And something that I had to deal with just a little bit when I was playing in my younger days. I wasn't at the high school level, but once we got to the state championships, more people's friends would come out and some signs would come out and stuff like that. So gotta keep your wits about you in the blue paint.
Ventura as the puck pops out. One last chance at the buzzer, not in time. We end 2 periods tied at 2. In the second Red State semifinal, winner has number 2, New Trier. And what a game it has been so far. 1 goal from each side in each period.
Yeah, the Titans evened out the shots a little bit towards the end of the second from what it was, but at the end of the day, still 15-7. That was a period dominated by St. Viator. With the shots on goal in total being 24-18, I would give a slight edge to St. Viator, but in general, I think both teams have been playing pretty equal, and guys, it's just been one heck of a game so far.
It seemed when they got that power play goal there in the second that's when they felt like they were going to start to run away with it. And then you saw Preston, he made 4 or 5 really big saves, and it seemed like GBS was just trying to catch their breath, but then all of a sudden on the back end, Jonah Weiss, great backdoor play, really got that momentum back for the Titans. They've done a great job of just sparring with this Lions team, something that we thought the Lions would break away at some point. They haven't yet, so we've got a great third period coming up here in just a second.
Well, I'll tell you folks, there's 12 minutes on the clock right now. When that thing buzzes, we're ready to go for the third period. Set a timer, do something, but do not miss the third period coming up next on SHL Network. It's the semifinal here in the state of Illinois, 2-2 after 2.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this one.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
These plates. Wow. Food, tables, people, friends, family, memories, amazing plates, wings, burgers, baseballs, cake, parties, birthdays, beer, crab legs, goofy, funny, beautiful, messy plates. Every plate, every day is for you. Hooters. Nothing beats the original.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
At GYG, clean is the new healthy. But what does clean mean to us? No added preservatives, no artificial flavors, no added colors, and of course, no unacceptable additives in our food. That's why our guests feel so great after eating GYG. We're a food company. We are obsessed with every ingredient. It's our responsibility to serve you real, delicious, clean food. Who said fast food has to be bad food? At GYG, clean is the new healthy. Love ya.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters to prove these three-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorento.
Hey, grab me one too.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you're not this one.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
All these plates. Wow. Food, tables, people, friends, family, memories, amazing plates. Wings, burgers, baseballs, cake, parties, birthdays, beer, crab legs, goofy, funny, beautiful, messy plates. Every plate, every day is for you. Hooters. Nothing beats the original.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
At GYG, clean is the new healthy. But what does clean mean to us? No added preservatives, no artificial flavors, no added colors, and of course, no unacceptable additives in our food. That's why our guests feel so great after eating GYG. We're a food company. We are obsessed with every ingredient. It's our responsibility to serve you real, delicious, clean food. Who said fast food has to be bad food? At GYG, clean is the new healthy. Love ya.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters. To prove these three-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorrento.
Hey, grab me one too.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
All these plates. Wow. Food, tables, people, friends, family, memories, amazing plates. Wings, burgers, baseballs, cake, parties, birthdays, beer, crab legs, goofy, funny, beautiful, messy plates. Every plate, every day is for you. Hooters. Nothing beats the original.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim higher, man.
At GYG, clean is the new healthy. But what does clean mean to us? No added preservatives, no artificial flavors, no added colors, and of course, no unacceptable additives in our food. That's why our guests feel so great after eating GYG. We're a food company.
Back from West Meadows Ice Arena in Rolling Meadows, Illinois, the host site of the state semifinals. We have had a great 2 periods here, 2-2 between number 5 GBS and number 1 St. Viator. Before we continue on, Max Anderson down at ice level with the number 1 team in the state's head coach, Tim Benz.
Thanks, guys. Tim, you guys have been rolling through the state and league playoffs. You find yourselves in a 2-2 battle after 2. What have you seen from your team so far?
Yeah, it's been a battle. We've had a couple PKs we've had to kill, unfortunately, but, you know, 5-on-5, we're getting chances. We just got to bury down in front of the net, and we'll be in a good spot.
You mentioned the special teams. What have you liked and disliked from your special teams so far?
I like that we scored a goal. I didn't like that we gave up a goal, you know, but at the end of the day, we each traded power play goals, and we're back to 0. So we got a 17-minute game here, and we need to be the best.
17 minutes to a state championship appearance. What was your last message to your team?
This might be the only opportunity you get to do this, so make sure we make it count.
All right, thanks, Tim. Good luck. Luke?
Thank you, Max. Down with Tim Benz. St. Viator only made the Final Four 4 times in 46 years before Tim Benz came at the helm, took over in 2017. This is now, since then, their 6th appearance to the Final Four.
Yeah, they lost to the Stevenson team back when, in the state championship of all games, back when it was at the Edge. I think that was in
2022.
2022, yeah. one of those COVID has your mind all messed up, everything just
Or was it, yeah.
blends together.
It was 2022.
It was 2022?
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 2022 or 2021, but either way, he's got this team again primed, ready to make another deep run. They have 17 minutes until they can punch their ticket to go back to the state championship, but this GBS team has given them everything that they can handle. It is not going to be easy if they want to get back there. I mean, we could be talking about this GBS team that's going to be the team that plays New Trier in just a couple of days at the Allstate Arena. So we've got a great 17 minutes left before we get there. Boys, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Glenbrook South has not been to the state championship game in 20 years. Dylan?
Guys, these teams' record in SHL play when they are tied after 2. Glenbrook South 3-1-1, St. Viator 3-1-2, so both over 500 points percentage. See who's gonna add one more to that record here.
Well, and at that, the two best differentials in the SHL when it comes to that third period. St. Viator by a mile, plus 27 throughout the SHL season. GBS was plus 12, tied with New Trier. But when you look at the advanced statistics, they have a better goal differential per game compared to New Trier. They didn't play as many games technically.
You can see that even in the game yesterday when they played GBN, it was somewhat of a lull through the first 2 periods. It seemed like at a certain point, the Spartans last night were gonna come back, and then midway through the third period, the Lions really just took over. 2 quick goals to really put the game away. Let's see if that happens again here tonight. We know that the Titans got a little bit more grit. They're hoping that doesn't happen. But that's why we play the game.
You watch this type of state semifinal game in person or online as just a kid looking to get one step away to the state championship. And here comes Connor Sibiktroth in front, intercepted. As one of these two teams will meet with New Trier Green, who is still in the building, actively scouting. Teddy McCrulis towards the net, chipped away by Adam Popiel.
Actively rooting for Glenbrook South, I should add, especially after their 1-0 loss in the final, the SHL.
And here comes Sibiktroth with already a goal in this game. Wants a second. It's up in the slot. Rebound goes just wide. Good try from Prizwara.
A little bit of an optical illusion. We saw Preston look behind him, but that puck was actually in front of him. So good defensive play by the Titans to clear that puck.
Asher Vanderplug now into the slot. Never got a handle. Cosmeter spun around and knocked over. Down low, it's Popiel. Vertical pass for Prizwara. To the left side, Loftus cut off by Weiss, who's checked into the Titan bench by Giovanni DePinto. Loftus for DePinto on a lengthy one-timer, never got its way to the intended target. Shots on goal at the moment, 25-18. Glenbrook South has slowly been crawling back after allowing a lengthy run from St. Viator in that column. Here's Weiss to the net, tries to put it low, follows up on net, and Turpin stands tall no matter what.
You can see on the replay here, it's a big trough. It's a great inside-outside move, tests the blocker side to Preston. He doesn't have a lot of space there. As I mentioned before, you see Preston look behind him, but the Titans able to collapse. And Weiss, another great move to the outside, tests Calder Turpin not once, but twice.
Pinto deflected on and kicked away by Turpin. Weiss broke his stick deflecting that one to the pad of Turpin and has to go to the bench. And what an unbelievable angling act it was, not far from breaking the tie. Here's Gio DePinto. Off frame, Loftus follows up and misses. It's Finn Hogan, kicks to his stick. In deep now, Luke Fagan. Just places it between the wickets of Loftus and advances the play. Luke Fagan goes vertical, Boris can't track it down. Icing is waved off as Hogan turns on his backhand. Zach Boris funnels in deep. Cosmeter nudged off the puck. And that one just escapes the zone with Luke Fagan cautiously backing out. And St. Viator will restart the breakout. Will Fagan off the near boards, Tubuchanik racing after. He'll try to fire in deep, but it does hit the near linesman. Glenbrook South still with it. Boris tries to get a hold, comes to Tubuchanik with a chance, and a save from Turpin. Cannot hold at the point, Will Fagan.
That's 2 huge saves by Turpin in the last 2 minutes.
A .944 save percentage in SHL play, but these Titans had his number to an extent with a 3-2 and 4-1 win. 2 wins of 3 meetings so far. St. Viator won the opener back on November 5th. They have not beaten the Titans since then. Nice header to Buchanan with a hard hit, and it's going to be a penalty.
Ciccone there looking like Andrew Shaw, using the noggin to just bump that puck up the ice.
GPS penalty number 57, minor penalty for interference.
In doing so, draws the penalty there against Buchanan. And we talk about special teams being a big factor in this game. Let's see if once again that can be the case here for the Lions to break the tie.
Nearly 22% when you combine the regular season and playoffs in the SHL. But not many power play opportunities bigger than this one right here. Here's LeBoy, across ice for Loftus. Always so good with their perimeter possession. Loftus tries to feed in front, bounces to the back door, and no shot from Koenig. Still anybody's puck, pulled in. A fan-down shot from Przwora. What an impressive defensive fight from the Titans, but Civic Trot still has it. Cutting to the net as he turns away. Civic Trot, good feed. LeBoy's open with a shot, saved by Thomas Preston. And a huge one at that.
And that's one he's going to want to have back, guys. He had all the time in the world. Should have picked a corner a little bit better than that.
And there's a defenseman, I can't tell if it's Fagan there that comes across. I think that's why LeBoy hesitated just a second. You can see at the end, Wolf Fagan comes and tries to help his goaltender out, which is why LeBoy can't do that. But yeah, Max, all the time and space, just a great defensive play there by the Titans defenseman.
Loftus shot block, followed up. Przwora in the slot, soaked up again. One-timer, it's LeBoy, and nothing going. It's just a bunch of sponges for South right now.
And the Lions are getting their chances. You can see why they're so lethal on the power play, just because when they get in their sets, they're able to move that puck so quickly.
They can't exhaust you. Connor Civic-Troth likes to do that, but he misses the frame. LeBoy now sauces across. Give and go. Pepe LeBoy has it back. Gets to the backhand. And will evade into the corner. Looking for another cutting pass. He'll play it safe to Civic-Troth. LeBoy takes it back. Drags and fires, but it's blocked by Ryan Mulvey, wearing that C for a reason. 46 seconds left on the St. Viator power play. Here with 12.5 to go in the third period of the state semifinal. Winner has New Trier. LeBoy with space, winds one up, and it's wide. Asher Vanderploeg will try to clear, but it falls into the corner. Here comes Przwora with the Titans absolutely exhausted. This puck, thankfully to their case, escapes the zone, and they will desperately change at least Owen Kosmeter. And now they're going to be 5-on-3 for the next 17 seconds.
Titans might not like that, but they had multiple chances to clear this puck out of the zone. Vanderploeg first, and then Mulvey. They're able to do that. That puck goes down the ice, and it avoids the second penalty from being called, but they might not like it. As he makes a good move, he gets the right leg. I know the Titans don't like that, but that's the right call.
GPS number 23, minor penalty trip.
That's a great point you make with the hypothetical. Numerous times to avoid something like that. Instead now, a huge 5-on-3 Glenbrook South. 2 huge kills at the end of the third period against York, but they're up against St. Viator here and facing trouble. Just a dozen seconds left. The 5-on-3, it's DePinto. It was either Preston got a piece of that or it was too loud to hear the post. DePinto again with the lane, fires, and Preston stands tall again.
Preston did make that first save, Luke.
5-on-4, watch out, Kosmeter making impact. A penalty coming. It's on St. Viator, and we will be 4-on-4.
You can see there at the end of the play, that elbow comes up. Colton Newhouse. See Ryan Loftus trying to plead his case.
That's when we need the ref mics on.
I think Ryan Loftus got in the way of the referee as he was going to make that call.
Guys, I'll tell you what, Viator's lucky that they grabbed possession because Calder Turpin thought that penalty was against GPS. He started sprinting to the bench. If GPS held onto that puck, they had an empty net to shoot at. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion. I think he thought Newhouse was the one that drew the penalty as opposed to taking it. Dylan, that's a great pickup by you on the back end of things. That could have been disaster for the Lions here. Just under 12 minutes to go here in the third.
Catch your breath. And quick whistles.
And people are asking, well, why is Calder Turpin leaving the net? Well, you have a delayed penalty. You have to wait for the other team to touch the puck. You're trying to get that extra player onto the ice for your team. And I think that, as you mentioned, he thought Newhouse drew the penalty. That wasn't the case. And crisis averted.
Here comes Connor Sibiktrot down the right side of the ice. Sibiktrot to the forehand. Oh, what a save! And outstretched Thomas Preston keeps the game tied.
What a save by Thomas Preston. Some great speed by Connor Sibiktrot. He fakes to the forehand, and look at the flexibility. Full split down, covering the lower half of the net, knowing that Sibiktrot's in too tight, and he's not able to elevate that. All he has to do is be able to leave that pad out, and what an incredible save by the Titans netminder to keep this a 2-2 hockey game.
26th save of this game for Justin Underclassman in high school. And we said he needed to be huge to give Glenbrook South a chance. I would say he has been of that size. Especially not just 28 shots, some daunting opportunities.
He had a glove save in the first period. That was a sure goal before we saw him just flare out that left hand. He made another one in the second period too, where me and Dylan were talking about this could easily be a 4-5-2 game without the play of the Titans netminder.
Ryan Loftus trying to go the full 200 feet here. Swings down below the goal line, turns and rifles one sharp angle, but that's no trouble to Thomas Preston. Launched up ice the other way as it skips over the stick of Cosmeter and will be icing.
Yeah, guys, it takes me back to when we used to pick out a save of the game. It'd be a
Right?
tough choice here for this one.
I mean, there'd be 4 or 5 for
yeah, that wouldn't be
Thomas Preston. Sorry, Luke, not to cut you off.
No, I was saying I was going to put that on one of your guys' shoulders if we still had to do that. No way I'm picking. Not a shot.
Looks like I'm not getting fired for that, huh?
Yeah. I mean, knowing our luck, we would call one with like 5 minutes left and then something crazy would happen.
100%.
Whether from Calder Turpin or Thomas Preston at this point. Both have save percentages in this game over 900 so far. Glenbrook South scrapes it back in. 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds with the ice spread out here in the semifinal game. Matthew Ciccone darts out to the right side, poked away but forwarded back in by Jake Pucalo. 5 seconds. Asher Vanderplug ready to be released from his cage. 5-on-4 GBS the next 22. And they can set up. Vanderplug banks it off the wall on the far side. Huge battle won by Will Fagan, but then he falls to his knees, and they're going to call a penalty here on Glenbrook South. St. Viator back to the power play.
Teams trading penalties here the last couple of minutes, and we'll get a good replay. It's a good battle there for the puck in the last second.
GBS number 76, minor penalty trip.
Continuing on that, last second, Stefan comes in and try and play that puck. Will Fagan just a little too handsy with the stick, gets him on that right skate.
And just can't leave your stick that exposed for that long. I mean, ultimately, he didn't even try to do it, but when you have that long of limbs and that long a stick, it's going to find a skate eventually.
8 seconds left to 4-on-4 before Newhouse is shot out of a cannon. Here's Loftus walking the line with a shot deflected on save. Rebound fought for in the blue paint. Priswara denied by Preston. It's Koenig in deep. Luke Fagan shadowing him. Nick Koenig with the Titans scrambling. Now settle back into position. Sibiktrot, right side, Ryan Loftus into the slot one-timer. Saved by Preston. LeBoy follows up and another stop. Now Loftus tries one slow and lofting towards the net. Covered by Preston.
Guys, Thomas Preston has made he made 4 or 5 saves in this whole sequence. This starts from the top. He makes a save through traffic that he never sees. He just goes down the butterfly. Then he battles down low, makes another save there. He realizes that Brizwara is able to pick that puck up on the weak side and pushes over right here. That puck finds its way, a great left push, gets into the right shoulder, and then following that, another one-timer, the high slot, he's able to get with the blocker.
They've still got another minute 23 to kill. Loftus feeds in front again, and that hit a pad, poked out by a diving effort from Asher Vanderploeg.
I think Preston got a stick on that. He realized that was a net front feed, and he just great presence anticipation. Titans netminders putting on an absolute clinic here in the third period.
Here comes Sibik-Troth with space to skate. Good hit by Asher Vanderploeg. Now Brizwara down below the goal line. Under a minute left to kill for Glenbrook South. They can't get it out of the zone. Here's LeBoy. Opening up to the forehand. Plenty of space for Connor Sibik-Troth. He uncorks one, blocked by Cosmeter.
Great block. That's how you help your goaltender out. Just limit the puck from ever getting to the net. Just a great block there by Cosmeter.
Under 40 now. Ryan Loftus dancing his way back up ice. Loftus opens up with a lane, puts it on, and Preston was ready in the butterfly stance. Space for Ryan Loftus, far side. Cutting across. Loftus with a shot, deflected and saved. Rebounds out in front, could be trouble. And Preston will hang on, fed up for a one-timer. Loftus couldn't connect, and Glenbrook South clears with single-digit seconds left to kill.
What a play by Jonah Weiss. Sorry to cut you off there, Wes.
No, I was going to say the exact same thing. Just a great defensive play by the Titans, and they're able to kill off another penalty here in the third period.
Still is eerily quiet knowing they have work to do, but they've got the puck in their hands right now. Weiss to the left side, Makroulis. Teddy Makroulis. Evading down below the goal line. Shovels it up to the point, Will Fagan. It's a tough hold and he can't do such. Could be numbers the other way for Viator, but offsides at the blue line.
Get a great replay here. Ryan Loftus is able to create enough space. Tries to beat Preston down low. Preston just reads that the entire way. Just a simple butterfly save. And then right there, Luke Fagan, just a great stick on the back door. I think that's Brizwara again, just being a pest, but Luke Fagan, just great stick work. Help his goaltender out on the back door.
Mind you, with the shots 14 apart, the team that has been outshot in every single game of the season series has won the game. Outstretched Weiss couldn't handle that pass. And we get another whistle, 7:07 to go.
Yeah, you talk about the shots on goal there, Luke. When you look at each team's overall totals on the season, St. Viator went outshot 4-0-1. Glenbrook South went outshot 5-7-1.
Thomas Preston has made 33 saves on 35 shots. And I don't think his job is finished. Here's Speck at the blue line. Point shot blocked off by a Titan out in front. It was Jonah Weiss, and now he retrieves the pass. Jonah Weiss over the line with a shot that's kicked away by Turpin. Puck pops out into the slot. St. Viator will just clear, and it ends up right on Preston, no icing. Under 7 minutes to go in the third period. Stretch pass up center ice, misses Ventura, and we'll head back to the Titan end.
It's gotten quiet in here. There's some uneasy spectators. We've got a great look at the GBS student section. A few waves to the camera. They're ready to explode. They've gotten a great look at just how good Thomas Preston has been tonight, just trying to cheer on and motivate their goaltender to stay in it and keep giving their team a chance to come away with the win.
Max Anderson, Dylan Ward, Wes Anderson, Luke Jordan with you here. As where else would we rather be? Another save from Preston, worked up to the point. Point fire on the way, fought for in front. Comes to Sibik-Troth. Oh, it's Preston again! Still fought for, no whistle, now we get it. And a scramble after.
The net was wide open. His lateral movement is the best I've seen all weekend, and we've seen some great goaltenders. Look how this puck just finds it into the skates, and then Sibik-Troth on the back door. Preston's just doing such a great job of anticipating where the puck's going to be. Combine that with his flexibility to just move so well laterally, as I mentioned, and pick this puck out of mid-air. I mean, that's what, 6 in the last 4 or 5 minutes by Thomas Preston to keep this a tie hockey game?
Wes Anderson is having a field day with the incredible performance from Thomas Preston. Lions have piled on 13 shots already with 6 left to go here in the third. Here's Civic Trough. Wrangled up by Tutai. Glenbrook South now has the puck. It's intercepted in the high slot. LeBoy, the no-look feed for Civic Trough. They try to settle once again. Swung down the wall for Prizwara. Albert Prizwara puzzled, now finds LeBoy. Good hit by Vanderplug, deemed by some as maybe illegal, but we carry on. Braden Mendoza to left side, Asher Vanderplug. In deep, Turpin. Hogan for Loftus, and here comes St. Viator. It's Colton Newhouse. The junior returner on his backhand. Waiting, centers in front. Weiss gets it over the line, and another delayed offsides on Viator. 5:10 to go. Forwarded ahead for Kosmeter, and he almost domes the Lions sitting on the bench.
Look out down there on St. Viator bench.
Do you know a volunteer youth player in your hockey community that deserves to be recognized? The Wolves and Guzman y Gomez have teamed up for the Little Wolves Amateur Hockey Volunteer of the Month program. Learn more at chicagowolves.com/fansden.
Guys, I want to give a shout out to every single person watching at home. I don't remember seeing this number as a concurrent viewer in a non-state final game. We've got 1,029 screens.
Holy cow.
This one right now.
Sharp angle, Preston makes the save. And over 1,000 watching online almost just saw St. Viator break the tie. Hogan bounces up to Ventura. How huge has he been in this game? And he's got another chance with the puck on his stick. In the slot, tries the forward one just out of reach for Weiss. Played right back through the blue paint. And it's Ryan Loftus the other way. Ryan Loftus right side, missiles one wide. And it's the Titans now. 3-on-2 is cut off by the back checking of St. Viator. Owen Kosmeter, the former AAA forward, given away, and Luke Fagan with a nice close-off in front of the St. Viator bench. Got a whistle.
Looks like there's some confusion down there of why that was called icing.
I was going to say, Glenbrook South is palms up, as you could imagine right now.
Refs are correcting it too. Will Fagan looks like that's going to come to center ice.
That was far from an icing.
Just a quick explanation to the GBS bench before we get the puck dropped here again.
Hard-fought face-off, forked to the back line of St. Viator. A school trying to win their first state championship in school history. Made it to the title game in 2022, but were blanked by the Stevenson Patriots, who they beat on the way to this path here in 2026. Asher Vanderplug. Now McCrulis, they wanted offsides, not going to get it. Viator has it anyway. Forwarded ahead to the red line and sent right back in by Anthony Pinto. Plenty of space on the breakout here for Adam Popiel. Good forecheck by Tutai, he evades right by it. Swipe to the near side, Colpins. John Colpins in front, angled just wide. A heck of an effort through traffic from Matthew Ciccone. Ciccone, watch out, he's taken down, and Anthony Pinto with a costly penalty. St. Viator will take their time with the puck here. Extra attacker is out in Civic Trough. Their own net empty, 6-on-5. LeBoy pinballs around, comes right to Mulvey. And a St. Viator power play with 3:09 to go for Tim Benz and the St. Viator Lions. Seems pretty clear.
Yeah, Pinto's going to go there for the hook. You see Ciccone in the neutral zone, just kept his feet moving and forced Pinto to take him down. And the Lions are going to do it if they're going to break this tie. This is where they're going to have their best. Wouldn't even be surprised if at some point off of a whistle they take a timeout to keep that top unit on the ice. You can see Civic Trough playing the point there with Pepe LeBoy. You've got Ryan Loftus on that left side bumper spot. Expect them to get things moving here quickly off the face-off.
Well, we mentioned the Glenbrook South penalty kill huge in the third period in the quarterfinal, but can they step it up to another gear in the semifinal game? They could be just 3 minutes from the Allstate Arena, or more than that. We'll see. Civic Troth right side, Loftus. Most power play goals of any SHL team throughout the entire season. 4 power play goals in 4 state tournament games for St. Viator, but they'll have to restart here.
GBS doing a great job of clearing the puck. Some of you mentioned, and some of the penalty kills earlier in this period, they did a bad job of that, so far so good.
Civic Troth getting nifty and has his shot blocked. Tries to follow up in front, but can't. Will Fagan can't get it out. LeBoy with space at the point. Down the right side, Prizwara, sharp angle save. Now Prizwara once again. Civic Troth for Loftus. A minute left on the man advantage. Good feed, backdoor swung on and not on net. Will Fagan just tries to clear but can't. It's gloved down by the captain, Ryan Loftus. And a backhand feed between 2 Lions. LeBoy, sharp angle, save Preston. Fight for this puck, won by Loftus, put for LeBoy. He'll just try to shoot, it's deflected wide. And it escapes the offensive zone.
What a break there for the Titans. They had 2 chances to clear that, but they weren't able to.
Loftus right back in as he tripped. We're not gonna get a call. And here comes Jonah Weiss the other way. Weiss in a 1-on-2, short-handed, denied. Routine save, Turpin. 25 seconds left on the man advantage. Prizwara right side. Rifles a shot, stopped by Preston.
Great rebound control. That puck came all the way out of the zone, off the blocker of Preston.
42 shots peppered on the sophomore, Thomas Preston. He stopped 40. Here's number 40, Alex Tutai clearing. Final seconds, we're gonna be back to even strength. Anthony Pinto, the door opens and he goes to the bench.
What grip by the Titans here on the PK late in this third period to turn in a clean penalty kill on the backs of their sophomore netminder.
1 minute left in regulation. Steffen onsides over the line. Mason Steffen drops back as a shot deflected goes off the frame. Teddy Makrulis out into center ice. Eerily quiet at West Meadows. That is a bad back pass by Prizwara. Teddy Makrulis showcasing a great forecheck, but the Lions still propel the other direction with 22 left to go. Here's Speck, the Allstate defenseman. Looks for Civic Troth. Glenbrook South with a dozen to go. Just playing some cautious keep away. Thrown across ice. One last hurrah coming from Ventura before he runs into the brick wall of Tommy Speck. And we are heading to overtime in the state semifinals.
Don't hold your breath. We're going to get a great look at those last opportunities by the Lions. On the power play, good stick by Ryan Loftus to keep this puck in. See right there, Titans not able to clear them. Loftus with great speed once again.
Well, boys, we've been waiting for overtime all weekend. In the last Red Varsity game before the state championship, we'll get it.
Yeah, and we've been light on overtimes in the postseason. We saw the entire SHL playoffs go without a single game going to overtime. This is only the 3rd overtime of the Red Division State Tournament. The Titans, this will be their 2nd time involved. Jonah Weiss with the game winner in the round of 16 against Notre Dame. The other one being St. Ignatius Maroon winning in the play-in round.
Something we should note, by the way, Thomas Preston has spent this break fixing up that left pad that must have come loose after facing 42 shots in regulation.
Something where, as you mentioned, Luke, you're flailing around. He's made some 10-bell saves tonight. Get a good look at the benches. Just coaches trying to calm everybody down. You know, you talk about it all night and afternoon. There's a lot of tension in the building. Right now, you're just trying to take a deep breath and trust your systems that's gotten you this far. And hopefully, one of your players can net that game-winning goal here and help your team get to Allstate Arena.
Not to say St. Viator came into this game thinking it would be a gimme. They know they've lost 2 to GBS, but you know, they've had a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger that they're going to win this state tournament. By far, their hardest test of the tournament so far. And they're going to have to get it done here. Period of the long change. So the teams are shooting on the sides of their student sections. And in playoff hockey, we'll play as long as it takes. 17 minutes periods of 5-on-5 until the game-winning goal.
Yeah, unlike for all the people who are new to hockey and overtime hockey, unlike the Olympics that goes to 3-on-3, we stay 5-on-5 until we have a winner, sudden death, just like in the Olympics. And you can hear it, you can feel it. The crowd's finally starting to come to life once again. Everybody's up on their feet, and here we go.
Have a good call, Luke. I'll try my best. Who will be the hero? As Glenbrook South tries to dart up ice to get things going. Will Fagan now popped into the penalty box, and that'll give these guys a chance to collect themselves. It's never easy off the opening face-off in overtime.
Something you're going to notice that every puck that these players can get on net will head toward either goaltender. You get in moments like this out, those tensions, those nerves rack up. So no shot is a bad shot here in overtime.
Preston hangs on. The sophomore with 40 saves on 42 shots. Allowed 5 goals on the first 25 shots he saw against St. Viator this season in a 5-1 loss. Since then, but even before this game, 3 goals allowed in 2 games, a .962 save percentage.
And that's only getting higher the more saves he's made tonight. Like we mentioned before, there have been some A+ ones at that.
He stopped 46 of 47 in the last meeting against St. Viator. A 4-1 victory on January 11th. And here we are in the month of March with the next goal defying who goes to Rosemont. Flip pass out for Priswar at center, knocked off the puck by Asher Vanderploeg. Makrulis is ran over by Popiel. The puck still up for grabs. Hard hit on Priswara, who was well off the puck. Alex Tutai now advances for Asher Vanderploeg. From a distance, well wide as it hits off the back glass. Pepe LeBoy taking things over. Senior All-State selection finds another senior All-Stater in Ryan Loftus. Weiss tries to feed it ahead. Not a bad no-looking play, but just not good enough. Will Fagan now banks it off the far boards, and it can't be handled by Jackson Ventura, who has a goal for Glenbrook South in this game. Ryan Mulvey head rocked into the corner boards by Ryan Loftus, the other 14. Both with C's on their jerseys. Speck back out at center. That could be a costly giveaway. Here comes Weiss. Weiss down in the corner looking for Ventura. He angles it wide with his skate blade. And back out it comes. No icing. Linesmen had differing decisions, but they stick with the no icing call.
It definitely hit a GBS glove on that clearance.
Here's Newhouse waiting, trying to wrap around, couldn't pull the trigger. Jonah Weiss now plays it ahead, and it's settled back in by Gio DePinto. DePinto up the right side, goes from length. The rebound could be up for grabs. Great job by Luke Fagan to evade it out of there. Dropping to both knees, a nice play from Speck. Recovered near side, Finn Hogan. St. Viator. A lot of firsts in this season, but can they try to win their first state championship next game? Out in front, Matthew Ciccone couldn't tap one on. And the other way, Cosmeter just out of reach. It's sent back in. Thomas Preston will try to play with the goalie stick, but it sneaks by him. Asher Vanderploeg. Out at center, pocket picked by Matthew Ciccone. Anthony Pinto, that's behind the line and gloved down by Jiyoung Hong. Pinto, the senior, just rifles in. Now it's Adam Popiel. Clean breakout. Mason Steffen up the right side. Cuts to the backhand, feeds it through a lane, could be a chance, deflected, they score! The last touch by Matthew Ciccone, and St. Viator's going to the state championship game!
And this is what I was saying when everything was going to go towards the net. Matthew Ciccone with a great middle drive here. Some great patience to just delay enough until he got to the middle of the ice. And just like that, the St. Viator Lions punched their ticket to the state championship next Friday.
Final four the last 5 years for St. Viator, but only one trip to the championship until now.
So you see Joey Sclafini showing some love to Calder Turpin. And just another shout out to Thomas Preston. 42 saves on 45 shots. Multiple 10-bell saves. As you can see, the GBS team is huddled around their sophomore netminder. You can get a replay here. I don't even know if that gets through to Ciccone. Oh,
Yeah.
it does. Initially the way Preston reacted, I thought that might have just come through. You can see he's just parked out in front. Yeah, the last tip. Just a great pass there. I think that's Colpins with the assist. Over to Ciccone. What a game.
Ciccone, his third goal of the state tournament in 4 games. I said it earlier in the New Trier Loyola game, you needed depth pieces to step up. Matthew Ciccone resembles that, and he holds the stick that sends St. Viator to the state game on Friday, 8:30 p.m. Our state championship, fellas, is set. It's #1 St. Viator, #2 New Trier, and it is going to be a true battle of the forces.
Yeah, first state championship between the #1 and #2 seed since 2019.
Wow.
Where New Trier Green beat Loyola Gold by a final score of 2-0. Obviously, it's no secret that St. Viator and New Trier just met in the SHL final. And that's going to be a big opportunity for redemption for New Trier. And if you're St. Viator, you're looking to prove that SHL final win and put the icing on top of this season.
Well, who else do you pull aside when you score the overtime game-winning goal to send your team to the state championship? Max Anderson with Matthew Ciccone.
Matthew, you just scored the goal to send your team to a state championship. What are you feeling right now?
You know, it's such an emotional time. Everyone's replaying from other years, and we're just so excited.
This GBS team gave you everything you could handle. They won the season series. You guys came in here as the favorite. What was this game like, and what did GBS put up?
You know, GBS is such a great team. Props to them.
Nice job to turn off the mic, Max. Play it safe.
You never know what expletives might come through, right? Go ahead and finish, but GBS and what they put up today.
They're such a great team. We know we came in here knowing it was going to be a battle, and they showed it, and we tried our best.
This is your school's second appearance in a state championship. Obviously, it didn't go the way your school wanted a few years back. What's different about this team?
We're so tight. Our team, our chemistry is just so close, and we know what it's going to take to take it home.
Matthew, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. We'll see you Friday night.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Luke.
Thank you, Max. St. Viator. You see the water shower there. Both teams in the state championship game love the water showers.
Yeah.
Tradition, it seems.
And what an instant classic. I mean, Thomas Preston, take a bow. There's a reason why he has the A on his sweater. He played absolutely fantastic tonight, gave his team everything that he could. But St. Viator just a little bit better here tonight.
There's Declan Quinn, a player who was named to this varsity roster. unfortunately for him, out all season with injury, did not take a single shift. In fact, guys, this is the first time I'm seeing him in uniform. He's been at every single Glenbrook South game on the bench, has not missed one. He's been a big part of this team, and as a junior, he's looking to get himself back in the lineup next season. But cool to see him out there in his uniform.
Great leadership by him too, just being there for his teammates, being there for his sophomore netminder, who you have to imagine is going through all of the emotions. We'll look forward to seeing both of those guys back in contention and playing again next year, not only in the SHL network but also in the state championship game or tournament. Sorry,
you're good. You're good. I'm just saying there's some key seniors leaving for Glenbrook South, but you look down the line here. You've got the Fagan brothers coming back. You've got Owen Cosmeter coming back. As that will do it here. It's a fun future for the Glenbrook South Titans, but that will do things here for this state semifinal broadcast. I want to give a quick thanks to everybody behind the scenes. Our crew, Max Anderson, Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward, myself, Luke Jordan, of course, our great producer, Jimmy the Wiz Olson. Signing off your final 3-2, St. Viator, New Trier, your state championship. And thanks for tuning in on this Sunday, as we will see you in 5 days.